Welcome, I'm Laura Ray. I'm so happy you're here today and we're going to talk about wrinkles. I did a video not too long ago and the products I'm going to show today for the most part are all different. So if you didn't see that video, you'll definitely want to watch it. But I have come across some skincare and makeup that is really helping with my over 50 skin that I want to share with you today. Let's start first with what I think is maybe one of the best inexpensive products I've ever found. It's from Good Molecules and it's their Yerba Wake Up Eye Gel. What I love about Good Molecules is they list all the ingredients on the box. They tell you the amounts and there's nothing they're trying to hide. This is such a great product for pumping up fine lines. The texture of it is really interesting. It's a gel, but it is very emollient at the same time. And what this is replacing for me is something a little more expensive. I have been using the Vichy Mineral 89, which is great and recommended by so many dermatologists. But this comes at a higher price tag. Now, what I've loved about this product so much is that it dries very quickly. It's got caffeine in it, so I use it to help with puffy eyes and fine lines. And I even put it on my forehead to try to help with those lines. But as I said, the price tag on this is a little higher. So if you're looking for something around the eyes to really help with puffiness, fine lines, something with caffeine that's really going to work, then this is what I would recommend. Speaking of caffeine and Good Molecules, I also have been using these Caffeine Energizing Hydrogel eye patches. I really like eye patches. I like them better than a face mask. Usually, mostly what I need to focus on is around the eyes. So this is a little easier to put these on and walk around the house and clean or do laundry, but they're very jelly-like, and they actually give you a little scooper to get the patches out, but there's tons of product. This is so cool. This gel, look at this. Lots of product on this. They stay really nicely on the eyes and they're very relaxing. So what I do is I put this in the under eye, let it sit for the amount of time that they say, then I take it off and just pat the gel into the face. So if you were going for an event, say, coming up, or you're just spending a Saturday around the house, it would be a little harder to do this right before work in the morning because you're trying to apply makeup and those kind of things. But if you're wanting to treat your skin and sort of plump up those fine lines, then I really love these patches. I have been on the patch train lately because I also tried these for puffy eyes and dark circles. These are on Amazon. They're a great big selling product for them. They've got wonderful reviews, so that's why I wanted to try them to share with you. Now, these come in a package, all sealed up. They have a lot of product in them. These are gold, and you just, again, lay them underneath the eye. They stay on around 20 minutes. Now, my dark circles aren't really bad, so I can't talk to that or speak to that. But as far as the puffy eyes and stuff, I thought they worked nicely. For me, doing these things sometimes are more psychological, I think, than maybe even the wrinkles. Just something relaxing to do and calming. I really enjoy it. So if you like having fun with skincare and you're wanting to work on your under eyes, then I say these patches are worth a try. My goal over the next few months is to try products from a bunch of different brands to share some brand new things with you. And one that I found at Sephora that I've been wanting to try for a long time is the Inky List. This is a very no-nonsense brand and they're really inexpensive, a lot like the Ordinary line. So I bought this because it said it was for sensitive skin and it's a balm to remove your makeup, but when you wet it, it turns sort of milky and then also becomes a cleanser. So this is their oat cleansing balm. It's very thick, the texture of it. It goes on though, the minute you put water on it, it thins right out. So I really love that. It takes off my mascara beautifully. Now, one rule breaker for me is when these cleansers give me a foggy eye, and a lot of them did. The Clinique Take Off the Day actually didn't work well for me because I kept having trouble after I would use it with my eyes being foggy. This doesn't do that. It really cleansed nicely. It's got a great price point, about half of what Take Off the Day, maybe even less than half. So I'm really loving it. I was very impressed with this brand. I like an eye cream that will brighten and have some luminosity to it. So under my makeup, I will have a very natural luminosity that's flexible with my eye. If you're putting powders, those can creep into the crevices and the wrinkles and really accentuate them. Concealers can do that. So I find if I have an eye cream with brightening in it, I really have hit a sweet spot. So I wanted to try this from the Inky List. This is their Brighten Eye Cream. And this is very bougie for the price because it is neat. It's got one of those applicators like Color Science does, where the product comes out and it's a cooling wand where you can sort of rub it on. This does brighten the under eye. It's got some great ingredients that are in some more expensive products. So I have been very impressed with this. I love it. I just put this on, let it dry, then apply my makeup. It does not pill under the makeup. It does give a brightening effect. So I'm all for this. The only reason I'm sharing this next product because I have not had it very long, and usually I like to work with products for a month or more depending on the type of product. But because they said an instant result, meaning that moment, the first time you use it, I'm choosing to share this with you today because I really did think I saw a little bit of difference the first time, and that's from RoC. This is their Retinol Correction Deep Wrinkle Filler. This is a skincare product that you can put on 2 times a day. You can use it under your makeup. So on your clean skin, sort of just put it in the areas where you have deep wrinkles and pat it in. So I put it in this eye area. I have sort of a smile wrinkle from smiling so much. I have some in my forehead and I have one in the center here. So I took the cream, patted it in, and I could see a difference. Now that difference when I wore it all day did not hold up so much towards like 8-10 hours. But for the first couple of hours at least that I put it on, I could see it. They say in 4 weeks you will see a very big difference. So I will be coming back and sharing more with you about that. But for right now, I'm really excited about it. I think it did give my wrinkles and lines just a smoother look to them. It didn't pill under my makeup, which that would have been a deal breaker for me. So far so good, but I would love to hear in the comments if any of you have tried this from RoC. The reviews on this are excellent. I saw one person after another saying that their deep wrinkles were so much smoother, a big difference. This is pretty affordable considering what you're getting out of it and the cost of procedures. So I'm really excited about this and I will keep you up to date. One last thing for under the eye that I'm really enjoying is this. It's not a new product. It's been out for a while, but I just came across it on Amazon and I'm really loving it. Again, I was looking for something that was not a concealer that would brighten the under eye area and be very flexible during the day as I smile and move around. So this is Smashbox's Photo Finishing Under Eye Primer. Now another benefit of this is I was hoping to not have any powder eyeliner that I put under the eye moving around to keep things a little more still and also hold on to foundation or any concealer that I put under the eye. So I've been using this for a while and I really like it. It has really brightened that area. I think when you have that brightness, it sort of takes away from the wrinkle. It actually makes it look smoother because of the luminosity shining off the eyes as you turn your head. So this just comes right out of the top. It's a little squeeze tube and you use a tiny amount. I don't think this would work well if somebody loaded this on. This is like a microscopic tiny bit that you just sort of pat, and I go under the eye and I sort of actually pat it into my fine lines. But I'm loving this and I think it's a great under eye primer. I've been trying so many primers to see if I can find one that is sort of like spackle, that fills in fine lines, where I could just put primer in those areas and make the area smoother and better for makeup application. And most primers have not worked that well for me. And I was listening to Jen Phelps. She has a great YouTube channel here. I will link it in the description of my video. And by the way, all the links for any of these products or anything I talk about will be in the description of the video. But she was saying how this older product, which I used a long time ago from L'Oreal, it's their Magic Perfecting Base, was great for fine lines. And I thought, you know, I tried that when it first came out, but then I thought of the way I was using it and I really wasn't using it right. I was putting it just tons of it all over my face. And that's why I think I didn't like it. So it's got like a mousse-like texture to it, which I really love. And I just dab my finger and barely get a tiny, tiny amount and go right onto a fine line and just sort of spackle it like you would if there was a hole in the wall and you were putting spackle and then going across it. Now, I've also tried it in this area right here because I do have pores there that show up. And when I pressed it in, it just totally mattified that area, made it so much smoother. So I'm so glad she said something. This product is very hard to find because it has been out a long time, but it is on Amazon. That's where I purchased it. I think it's well worth a try because it has been great for filling in my pores and my wrinkles. In my live stream the other night, one of my subscribers asked a question about concealer. She was very frustrated by that, and I have been frustrated by concealers because they're very tricky, getting the right shade, the right formula, applying the right amount. It's not like when you're a young person and you can just slap on concealer at any thickness and have it look amazing. And so I have recently found one that's so inexpensive that I love, and it's from Ulta. It's the Ulta brand. It is their Youthful Glow Concealer. I think this is fantastic. I got a shade that would brighten up my eye a little bit, but not be too over the top. Now, what I like about this, it's got a sponge applicator, but it goes on really thin, and again we're back to that luminosity, sort of that glow where you turn your head and the wrinkles aren't noticeable. Because what I have found, if things are too matte when it comes to a foundation or a concealer, it really ages the skin. So I've gotten away from any kind of matte foundations and gone to things that are thin but pigmented with some luminosity to them. I think this gives great coverage. I put it today in my inner corner. I put it on the outside of the eye, and then I take my little sponge brush, like the old-fashioned makeup sponge brush, and just dab in the corners. And I really am impressed with this one. Another question I got in the live stream was, Laura, what can I use for a primer for eyeshadow? Now, that's tricky business with wrinkles. I've had such a hard time with that in the past year or two, I guess when I finished menopause. I noticed that when I would buy a drugstore eyeshadow primer, things I'd used for years, like the Milani, all of a sudden my lids were like prunes when I would put it on. And I would just look at them and say, how did that happen in a matter of seconds? And so I thought, I've got to scratch these and look for primers with moisturizing ingredients in them, like jojoba oil and different things that would keep my lids smooth. So I found two that I want to share, and I have talked about them some. The first one is from Gabriel. It is so easy to blend on the eye. I like to dab it on my eye and then take a makeup sponge brush and just spread it out, let it dry, give it a minute or two, and then I apply my eyeshadow. I don't get any creasing, my lids look smooth. It's just amazing. Now, one of my subscribers had recommended this one. This is from Gerard Cosmetics. You can see that the texture of this is very creamy. You use a minuscule amount. Again, this would last me a lifetime. And then I do the same thing. I take my sponge brush and just sort of blend it out, let it dry a little bit, then go in with the shadows. But these will not make your lids look wrinkly. I think they look so smooth when it's applied. My eyeshadow stays on better. I have to have primer. If I just put eyeshadow directly on my eye, it would be gone in an hour. I do have oil on the lids, so I need something to help with that, but I guess I don't have enough oil anymore for most drugstore primers. So I'm really enjoying these two to help me with my wrinkles. Speaking of fine lines and wrinkles, when it comes to foundation, I have to be very careful. A lot of them don't work that well anymore. I need something that is moisturizing. I also find that foundations that have cleaner ingredients also work great for me. So I'm loving this one from Gabriel. The ingredients are clean. They are cruelty-free company. I just love this company. It's a much smaller one, and they put such TLC and love into their products. But the shade I have is Natural Beige. I'm wearing it right now. It's not as thin as some BB or CC creams as far as my own skin showing through. I actually have there's a little more pigment in this. I feel like I get great coverage, yet it's so thin. I would say it's just a tad bit thicker than the MAC Face and Body, just a tad, barely. But I get great coverage with this. It goes on very smoothly. Now today I applied it with a sponge. I used the Stands Out sponge to apply it, but this is definitely a favorite of mine for my wrinkles. Eyeshadow can also be tricky when you have mature eyes and have skin that's a little loose there or a little bit wrinkly. So I have found some eyeshadows that are less expensive, not all of them, because I have a lot of favorites like the Can Make that I talk about, but some of them can get in those creases and be very patchy and hard to work with. So I wanted to see if I spent a little bit more money, would it be worth it? Would I enjoy the shadows more? So I've been trying some Tarte palettes. I also bought this one from Natasha Denona. Now, all I'm hearing all over YouTube is her name, and I have to say they're amazing. Now, I'm a person that doesn't necessarily love these huge palettes. I like having a few shades. I usually only use maybe 2 or 3 when I do a look, so I really don't need like 50 shades of shadows. So this was enough for me, and these are my favorite shades, these plummy ones. I've always loved the shade since I've been a kid. And this palette's amazing. It's what I have on my eyes now. What I think makes it worth it is the colors stay true as you're working with them. They blend so easily. So if you're a beginner, I think one of the hardest things to do is eyeshadow, getting it blended out and looking soft and having the colors mixed right. All these work together. These have all been put together for a reason. And what I did for my eye look is sort of used all of them, just blended them all together, and I was really happy with this. I like using deeper shades like the one in the middle for eyeliner, so that saves me some money there. I don't have to buy an eyeliner. And these palettes are more than you would spend at the drugstore, but let's face it, the drugstore has gone way up, and there's starting to be not that much of a gap between mid-price makeup and drugstore. I'm really thrilled with this palette because I think it gives a beautiful look. They have some other small palettes like this, and so I'll be trying more of these in the future. I have another one that I bought in green that I'm loving too, but I'm a real fan of these shadows, and I think they're perfect for mature eyes. Recently, I purchased the Glowish blush from Huda Beauty. I wanted to try a blush that cost maybe a little bit more with maybe powder that was more finely milled to see if it would look better on my skin. I am loving this so much. My daughter thought it was beautiful and said, can I borrow one of them, the peach? And it's still gone. It's missing in action. But it is so nice because it has a slight glow to it and a beautiful berry shade. Now, my friend Susan, Little Poet, had talked about this year, quite a few videos ago, about how she started applying her blush in more of a straight line to lift the cheekbone. And I was glad she said that because I've done that at one point and forgot about that. And so that's a tip you might want to try if you're looking for ways to sort of lift the cheekbones up. I will link Susan's channel below if you haven't ever been over to watch Little Poet. She's absolutely amazing. But this has been my favorite blush actually from 2021. I purchased this highlighter from Merit. I had read so much about it. I did a video with Merit and they had sent me some other products, but they didn't send a highlighter. They were actually sold out at the time. And so I purchased it myself. This is the shade Kava, and I love it because this is one of the best highlighters I've ever used for being thin, not getting in wrinkles, looking nice on the skin. Now, they did send me one recently. I've been using this one I bought for at least a couple of months now, but they sent me this one in the shade Bounce. And this has more, it's a little deeper shade than the original one I purchased. The one I bought is more champagne, and the one they sent me has more of, I think, more of a rosy tone to it. But both of these are beautiful on the skin. I don't even bother using a brush when I do these. I'll show you, I've got quite a bit on, it looks like, but I hardly used any. I'm just gonna show you there and then just tap it out. I don't even use a brush for this. But I think this is one of the prettiest highlighters that I've ever used. It's very moisturizing. Most highlighters have more of a stickiness. They don't glide on the skin. or they're just too chalky. This is nothing like that. This has very clean ingredients in it. I really love the Merit brand for that reason, and they're cruelty-free. So this has become a new favorite highlighter along with this one. Let's move on to lips. Lips can look so much older depending on what you apply to them. I have tried some matte lipsticks that dry down, liquid lipsticks, and my lips look 20 years older. I have found that moisturizing products are essential for my lips to look great and youthful. Now, I was so excited when I saw that CoverGirl came out with these clean, fresh tinted lip balms, because I spied one that looked like this from Clinique, the Black Honey. This is a favorite of mine because it glides on the lips. I love this shade. It's so beautiful because it gives me that real 90s vibe. It's sort of a brown, but with a berry, and that's really hard to find. Now, lots of people have said Nivea Blackberry is a dupe. I've bought that several times. It's close, but it's more berry and doesn't have as much brown as the Clinique does. But when I saw this, I said I have to buy it because I got a feeling it is going to be brown, and it is. This is a great dupe. This is $6.99. Now the Clinique is $20, so that's quite a price difference. What impresses me is the formula is the same. They feel exactly like on my skin, on my lips. When I did my live video the other day, I went on camera with one of the bottom lip in one of the products and the top in the other. You could not tell a difference. And actually, I thought the CoverGirl stayed on a little better. That the pigmentation of it was a little bit stronger, but the same shade. I am so impressed. Now, what I'm wearing tonight is the Eye Cherry Ish You, it's called. And that's what I'm wearing now. Put a little bit more on, but oh, I love it. So glossy, it's very youthful looking. It lasts a long time. I've been wearing these and I really don't have to reapply much. Now they also have a clear, and the clear is great for putting it on lipstick if you already have something that's matte that you want to make a little more moisturizing. I really love that. CoverGirl does a great job with these balms. I've talked many times about the clear balm that goes over their long-lasting lipsticks that you can buy separately, and that's around $3 or $4. And that's probably my most repurchased makeup product that I've ever had. But I think CoverGirl hits a home run with these, and they sure did with this shade. I have talked about recently how much I love Sarah Happ lip products for making the wrinkles in my lips look better. I've tried her lip mask, which I thought would be a waste, but I don't think it is. It really does smooth out my lips, at least temporarily. So that would be good to wear before a party. I've talked about her gloss. I've said the lip scrubs are amazing. Her confetti cake, it is like you're in a bakery, taking off all the dead skin off your lips. So I love it. But I wanted to find something also that was a little less expensive, and I ordered this one from Amazon. It's the Henalay Sugar Lip Scrub. Now this to me, I'm trying to remember, I think, yeah, it's like lemon. So this is like a lemon cream pie on your lips. I really like it. Now, I still have to say, Sarah Happ has me with the confetti cake, just because I would love to eat confetti cake. But this also, if you like lemon, has a great smell. It does wonderful for getting the dead skin off the lips. I just take some out and very gently rub a few times over, wipe it off, and you're done, and your lips look great. So again, this is one of those things that I think is also a psychological product, because you feel like you're at a spa, you're doing something special for yourself. So I really enjoy it and definitely think it helps with the lines on my lips. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure you do. I would love to have you here as part of this beautiful community we have. Also, I'll be doing another live stream on Christmas Eve. I'm so excited. I know many of you will be home, and this will give us a chance to spend some time together. I did a poll to see if you would rather have the live stream in the morning, afternoon, or evening. So far, it looks like it's going to be in the morning. I will wait till I have some more votes. And you can even leave me a comment now in the video whether you would like the live stream in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Any of those times will work for me. I want to do what's going to accommodate all of you the best. I have had so much fun doing those live streams, spending time with you. It's been great. Now for the giveaway today, the winner of last week's giveaway is in the first pinned comment. This week, I'm going to give away one of these lip scrubs to the winner. So if you will just leave me a comment, make sure you're subscribed, and give me a like, you are in the giveaway. That's all you need to do. And I would love to hear from you today. Which product do you think would be the most helpful to you? A product I talked about that goes along with a challenge you're having right now. My biggest challenge, I would say, is forehead and around the eyes. So those are areas that I'm working on. I would love to hear the areas you're focusing on. I hope you will have an amazing week, and I'll see you soon.